Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some minigame madness out of the Shakur's Plateau. Up here in the top right hand corner we have SGTxTrizzle spawning in as the red Protoss, and over here at the left position we have Rakshot spawning in as the blue Terran. As this game starts off, we have our players throwing down their own very different types of manner, with Rakshot saying good luck, have fun, and SGTxTrizzle throwing out the healthy, $sign at exclamation mark number sign. And how mad are you, son? 5. That is a healthy amount of madness. Just 5. Ooh, more like 100%. Maybe 5 is 100%. Maybe Rakshot's kind of taking a leap of faith there. I mean, maybe anger is, staged on a 5 out of 5 scale. So when SGTxTrizzle says he's at 5 anger, he's actually, he's full on anger. Oh well, it's not time to argue this, but did the probe kill the building SCV? Well done, probe. Well done. So this probe does already have a kill under his belt, and that is that's a kind of a little bit of a fast lead for a Protoss player, as the Terran player as that slows down not only his building of his supply depot, but his building of his barracks. It slows down his worker count, so he has less workers than his opponent. Actually, a lot less. He has 3 less workers currently at this stage of the game, and actually make that 4 because of the scout probe. So if this probe actually gets out of here alive, I think SGTxTrizzle is going to have a reasonable economic advantage. And if he can actually, is he gonna? He could have sniped that off again, I think. Oh no, he couldn't have. It had more health in him, but it's dancing around. And man, that SCV really wants to drill it. This is an intense micro fight going on right now, as the probe does manage to escape with 1 hit point. 1. Wow. Wow. All right. So, yeah, that was close for that probe. We do have the orbital command finally coming up. This is a bit of a late orbital command, to be perfectly honest. We have the cybernetics core coming up from SGTxTrizzle. It wasn't really optimally timed. He already had his gateway down, but I'm not gonna really be all that critical of him for it. We do have the assimilator down and the refiner down from both players, so it's just going to be 1 gas for each of our players, and it looks like neither of them are even thinking about taking an expansion, to be quite perfectly honest. They're both really set up to go into some sort of 1 base play, and there's the second assimilator coming down from SGTxTrizzle. So maybe some sort of tech, I don't know. This is kind of a late second assimilator, but we do have this probe going over here, and it looks like Stargate. Alright, so it looks like it's going to be Void Rays. Not only that, but did it get scouted? No. Wow. That was like the clutchest surround by those probes ever. It was literally... Okay, let's just look at the distance he had. The Stargate is here. If he had moved like 1 over to the right, over to the left, he would have seen the building Stargate. But, yeah, we do have the second barracks coming up for Rakshot. He's not going to have that impressive of a number of units to deal with this, and it looks like it's going to be Stargate into 3-gate Stargate. So this might actually be a very nice timing attack that he can manage off of this composition. We do have the pylon coming up, so he just has to wait on that pylon before. Oh, yep, there's the pylon. So we do have the first Void Ray coming out. Void Rays, again, are a pretty decent unit, especially if you can feign your opponent into going for something like Marauders. You can feign some sort of 3-base pressure, or 3-gate pressure, and then your opponent starts pumping out more Marauders than he needs, and then your Void Rays just slice through them. So it looks like we are going to have the pylon, so it's actually just going to be a warp-in tactic under this Void Ray. He's going to use the Void Ray to give vision on the high ground and then just warp units in up here, and that's a very, very scary thing. Because Void Rays are fairly dangerous on their own, but when used to warp units in onto the high ground, that's frightening. And oh, why are you? Stop warping. No. He has a bunker. He has a bunker with 2 Marauders in it. That never happened. Never happening. Never. That's not gonna work. Yeah, there goes the Marine. Run right past. There we go. There's the warping on the high ground. As we do have this Void Ray come through, and those Stalkers try to move up, but it's just not happening. And the Void Ray looks like it's going after the Marines actually. So the Void Ray is trying to poach off some Marines. It does manage to get 1, but the Marines do get into the bunker. So now the Void Ray basically is, is just free to farm as many of these SCVs down as he wants. The SCVs are running off the line, but this is still a pretty awful amount of damage already, as we do have another 3 Zealots warping in, a second Void Ray arriving. They'll have no issue taking down this bunker. And this is starting to just look like a fairly solid win, to be quite perfectly honest. Yeah, they're not going to be able to. If he just force fielded the bunker right now, he would be fine. He has a couple of sentries. He has a lot of energy on those sentries. Actually, Rakshot's doing the correct thing and just keeping all of his SCVs in position. I mean, I think he could still lay down some force fields, but I think he would just trap the units. I don't think he would really shove them out. However, I'm surprised because even with +1 range, I think Stalkers can still hit these SCVs, but yes, it doesn't matter. So anyway, guys, I know this was a bit of a short game. I'm sorry about that, but it's Christmas Eve. I can't make the longest game ever on Christmas Eve. If you guys want more Boisterous action, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. If you want to try to expand my following, go ahead and post in the forum thread so that it gets bumped up to the front page, and just post anything you want. It can be a question, it can be a comment, it can be a gripe that you have with something I'm doing. Also, if you want any of your games commentated, and trust me, I would want to commentate them, send them on in to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And just by the way, if you send me in a game with Rage, it's not going to get automatically bumped to the front of the list. I don't really care. It's not like I'm going to sit there and be like, man, this game has Rage, I'm not going to commentate it. I still will. It's just not going to get you any brownie points, because I see a lot of people sending in replays and they're like, man, this guy raged so hard. And I'm like, that just means I have to have my mature filter on. That's just annoying. Anyway, this is Boisterous, signing out.